Let's talk about toxins. Have you ever considered how a toxic relationship or maybe a toxic environment or a toxic mentality impacts your health? Today, I'm talking all about toxins and their physical and emotional impact. The 4 points I'll be covering today are the different types of toxins, toxins as a stressor, and the direct impact on your health, steps you can take today to decrease your overall toxic load. Hi there, I'm Amber Carver and I help you achieve health in mind and body through an integrative approach to wellness. Be sure to hit subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on a new video. Today we're digging into toxins, so let's get started. So to get started, let's talk about types of stress. So there's emotional stress and then there's like a physiological stress. Emotional stress is typically what we think of when we think of the word stress. We think of something that's creating emotional stress. So it might be having anxiety, it might create anger, feelings of worry or sadness, perhaps even like maybe loneliness. So while these issues are based in our mind or maybe even more like emotionally based, they also have a physical and bidirectional effect. You can watch a previous YouTube video where I talk all about that. The second type of stressor is a physiological stressor, and that's defined more as a challenge to the overall like homeostasis of an individual. So basically where your body's like baseline is. So it actually creates a challenge at more of a cellular level, such as this could be something such as environmental stressors, like an intrinsic developmental stressor, or even aging can be considered a physiological stress. When we think about these types of stress, we also need to think about and realize that our response to stress is bio-individual. And by that, I mean that everyone's their own person and we all respond to stressors differently. And that's based on a wide variety of reasons. But looking at your overall ability to manage stress, both from a mental perspective, but also from like a physiological perspective. So it's important to keep that in mind, that what you consider a stress may not be a stress to somebody else. So there's also something called eustress, which is what we would consider like a short-term stressor, such as like studying for an exam, perhaps. The other type is called distress. So that's the feeling that you might experience when you perceive that a situation demands more of your ability, more energy and resources than what you can actually supply. So distress can actually be short-term or situational, or it could be long-term and more chronic. So because of bio-individual differences in our adaptive capacity to stress, some may feel this overload quickly while others never feel it at all. Symptoms can include wasting away of muscle, immune suppression, even ulcers, fatigue, body pain, and even like failure at different like insulin level productions. That might even be why some people experience the desire to eat when they have a lot of stress, or some people don't eat at all. That's part of that, is because we all handle things differently. Okay, so toxins as a stressor. Your body, like I said, your body doesn't tell the difference between different types of stress. So let's hit like the obvious point of where there's relationships that can be like toxic. Maybe they are always completely draining to you. They're always really negative. Maybe it's like a codependent relationship or someone who's always asking of something from you. Now, those relationships that could possibly be like zapping your energy, again, that creates that stress response in your body, which leads to poor digestion, an inflamed system, a decrease in the ability to absorb vital nutrients, and so on and so forth. So that's one of the things, and again, it's bidirectional. So that's part A. Part B is the physical stressor of toxins. So your body has multiple opportunities to handle stressors in many different ways. It's a very well developed machine, our bodies are, and we're very adaptable as humans. But that doesn't mean that things don't go wrong. So when stressors are chronic and coming from so many different angles, our body moves into just doing the best that it can, but that's oftentimes where we see things come up, like food sensitivities, allergies, bowel issues, and the list can just go on. So we use our digestive enzymes to help us break down toxins that may enter the body orally. Through our mouth. So if we're eating a poor standard American diet, or we're not able to purchase organic for whatever reason, so for whatever reason, if that's not available to you in your area, then your body's made to help break down those toxins. Then our small intestine can actually also absorb and break down toxins. However, if your small intestine is not functioning as it should be, then it's going to struggle. And the toxins there actually alter the enzyme activity within our body, so then it doesn't work properly. So if our small intestine isn't working properly, then the toxins are actually passed on down to our large intestine, that's where our microbiome, or like our healthy gut bugs, live, and they have the opportunity to really help our body deal with these toxins. The problem is that poor gut health is a major issue, and so many people struggle with having the right gut microbiome, whether that's from having to be on a lot of different antibiotics, or food sensitivities and allergies, trauma. It could really be such a wide variety of issues that are creating poor gut health, but it as you can see, it kind of all builds upon each other. So I don't give you all of this information because I want it as like a scare tactic. That's not my goal. My goal is not to scare you and be like, we have to go and switch everything out, or what do I do? Oh, this is so bad. My goal for you is to really provide education so that you can make the changes that are available to you right now, because small changes really do add up. So, having said that, let's move into what you can do today to start reducing your toxic load. Okay, so ways you can reduce your overall toxic load. There's so many, and I'm just gonna give you a handful today. And be sure that you're following me on social media and that you're signed up for my email newsletter list so that you're getting added information on what you can do to be reducing your overall toxic load. So one of the first things you can do is to set boundaries. So remember how I talked about those relationships that might not be so helpful to you, or they might not be giving you energy. They may be adding to your stress. Set boundaries. It's your responsibility to acknowledge that this isn't healthy, and to ask the question and get curious about what you can do about it. And maybe the place to start is by setting boundaries within that relationship. Get good sleep. So much of our body's ability to repair itself happens during our sleep cycle. If you are not sleeping well, your body's not able to regenerate optimally, and so you're not able to take advantage of that. So prioritize sleep. Move your body. So whether that's going for a walk, it's stretching, maybe it's jumping on a trampoline, that helps stimulate your lymphatic system, which your lymphatic system within the body is what helps excrete toxins from your body. So this is really important because skin is the largest organ of our body, and it's anything we put on our skin is being absorbed into our body. And so by using or by getting exercise, or maybe you're using a more of a safer or natural deodorant, then your body is able to release the sweat. When we sweat, and we're releasing all of those toxins from our body. It also helps, again, stimulate the lymphatic system so that it's working optimally. Practice mindfulness. So mindfulness, I've talked about this a lot, is so important to reducing your overall mental, emotional stress. Go for a gratitude walk, keep a gratitude journal, meditate. Even just deep breathing helps to decrease your overall stress, which reduces your overall toxic load. That's something that you can do every day, that is free and can be applied multiple times a day. Eat a nutrient-dense diet with less or no processed foods. So if you currently eat a bag of chips every day at lunch, then maybe you swap that out for some veggie sticks or pieces of fruit. And that's one thing you could do that just right there helps decrease your toxic load, because you aren't getting the artificial ingredients that are in there, or the highly processed foods, things that we can't pronounce, even food coloring that's often in that. That right there is going to decrease your overall toxic load. Pay attention to your household products. So I'm going to end on this one. There's a website called the Environmental Working Group. You can go to ewg.org or download their app, and you can actually scan your various household products, from laundry detergent to cleaning supplies, or skincare, shampoo, body wash products, deodorant, like I mentioned before. You can look at all of these products and see what your overall score is on them. How many chemicals are in those products, because if they're in there, you're either absorbing them from your skin, or you might be breathing them in as well. There's one ingredient out there called phthalates, and it's spelled with a P, but it's pronounced phthalates, and that is often in different ingredients or different products, but it's used to help fragrance stick to your body. Or stick to the clothes that you're wearing. So a lot of times it's in laundry detergents or fabric softeners. When that happens, then your body is then absorbing it and you're breathing it in, and that's actually a known carcinogen. So that's something that's really important that you could even just start looking at. And maybe you don't change it out right away, but again, increase your education on all of these products and different ways that you can reduce your overall toxic load to help your body continue to help you. I hope that you found all of this helpful. Don't forget to hit subscribe to my channel, and if you need extra help with any of these topics that I covered today, head on over to my website to book a session with me or even a consultation.